rate will also be generating interest, will be growing for you. Versus simple interest, where only your principal money is growing.
Yeah, the principal,
And how often do you check your bank account and you find some growth there?
I do.
But how often?
I check it
how significant it is?
Every 3 weeks, but it's sometimes when the system, I have noticed the system was messed up and they charge me twice. Sometimes if I'm bored, I'll just call. And that's how I found out. As many times I was with Aflac also, right?
Yes.
And my girlfriend, we was paying the company, and the company wasn't paying them. That her son passed away and she couldn't collect because of that. I thought that was so wrong.
Right. Yeah. So let's delve a little bit about the knowledge deficit about money in our community. Let's delve a little bit about it. If you ask everybody what is money, we all know what is money. Money is what we use for our daily living, for times. I want to give just a quick, small analogy that you're gonna see at the end of this, this presentation. When we say money, we consider it as our day-to-day fuel. This is what we need for our day-to-day expenses, for our day-to-day, short-term needs. Okay. But when we say what is wealth, this is what you build over time. This is why we fall short. Because we are overspending on our day-to-day needs, we are not building it over time. Also, we don't know accounts. We don't know places where we can grow our money fast.
That's true.
That's missing. Okay? Think of your investments, these are things you can use to grow your money, investment, your retirement accounts, your businesses, This is, your financial engine for the future. Because in the future, we are growing, older. And our demand for money continue to increase as we age. So think of it as your plan for the future. This kind of an engine for you. Now, insurance. What does insurance do? Insurance protects us from losses when unexpected events happen. Your car insurance, your motor insurance, you name it. Okay? Think of it as a safety net. Your insurance is your safety net, and it protects you from crisis and prevents you from being settled back. Because your auto insurance, why do you have your auto insurance? You're having your auto insurance or your home insurance in case something happens. You're already covered and you don't have to suffer the losses to that extent. I used to call it like digging the well before you are thirsty. If you wait until you are thirsty and you want to dig a well, how easy is it going to be? So most people think that insurance only work, because I am healthy now, I am not sick now, I don't need insurance. No. I tell people insurance only work before something happens. Once something happens, that insurance is very, very important. As most people will say, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Nobody buy insurance thinking or hoping that something bad will happen. Nobody wishes that. But the smart people, they consider it. They prepare for it. Yet, they are hoping for the best. Now, there are so many misconceptions about protecting what matters to us, protecting our income. Is there anything more important than our income? It's a question I throw to you. Is there anything more important than our income?
Well, I say my life insurance and stuff like that. My children, my family, these jobs, they, come and go. What do you think?
And I'm glad you mentioned your family.
Yeah, my family.
I know this question is going to be very, very, it's going to come very close to home. Should our families suffer because they lost us? If you love your family very, very well, the way you say, what is the chances of that you working and saving $1 million and living for your family?
Well,
what are the chances? How long are you going to work?
A long time.
But you can buy $1 million for your family?
Yeah, that's true.
You can?
Yeah.
With a small premium?
Yeah.
That you pay, and by the time you are no longer here, if you pass, your family become a millionaire overnight.
That's right.
They don't have to suffer because they lose a loving mom. They don't have to suffer because they lose a loving family member.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how the rich are transferring generational wealth. There's a very big public figure who we say, his father was very wealthy, you know, he got a lot of money, and when he passed, he living with a lot of money. That wasn't true. His father was just like me and you, just a realtor, like anybody else. I'm sure you may want to know who I'm talking about. His father was a realtor like me and you, but he was smart. He purchased $1 million policy, and when he passed, that $1 million was passed over to him, and he invested that money. So he don't have to suffer for the passing of his parent. But just a common realtor like, you know, all these basic realtors, can they save $1 million and live with their family? But they can pay a simple premium so that when they pass, their families may become transfer that wealth to them. And guess what? That money is tax-free and it's protected from the probate court.
So
Don't have something to say. Go ahead.
So what you're saying is,